Hey all, Heretic here with the Hearthstone Battlegrounds Player Guide, and I'm here to bring you the information you need to win with Murloc Holmes. So get comfy and let's dive in. First, let's talk about their hero power Detective for Hire. This costs 0 gold and reads, look at 2 minions, guess which ones your next opponent had last combat for a coin. Pretty simple hero power, not too complicated. But at the same time, the game is going to try to throw you a few curveballs. They're going to try to set you up to make mistakes. Sometimes they're going to give you really obvious shops where obviously this hero in the last combat did not have this tier 6 minion on turn 3. But other times, it's going to be a little less obvious, and you really have to try to puzzle out what the game's trying to trick you with. Obviously, if you're running with a deck tracker, this simplifies things. Now you have a window into at least what your opponent had when you fought them last when you saw them. Otherwise, all you really can do is hover over their portrait and see what family of minions they were running and try to deduce what they might actually still have. Sometimes it's easy, sometimes it's not. It is a little bit of a mind trick sometimes as the game's AI is programmed to try to trick you. It'll say he has 3 pirates. And then it'll offer you 2 things, but it's going to offer you a minion that like a Nightmare Amalgam and then a pirate. And now you're sitting here going, oh crap, well, they're all pirates. I haven't fought this person yet. At that point, it's kind of a 50-50 unless, it's offering one of those pirates is a tier 5 and the guy's still tier 3. Obviously, at that point, you want to take the tier 3 Nightmare Amalgam, not whatever the tier 5 is because he doesn't have that. There's going to be a lot of little tricks it's going to try to play on you. Sometimes they're just going to offer you minions that don't exist in the game, i.e. red herring. There are other things like that. It's going to say, oh, look, he's got a, you're going to look, he's going to see he has 2 gold minions. You're going to be like, oh, great. And it's going to offer you a gold grubber. Then it's going to offer you a gold manted. You're going to notice the person's tier 4 and go, probably not the gold manted. Most of the time, it's pretty easy to figure out, but every now and then it's going to throw you a curve. So just really look, because this is the main hurdle to overcome with this hero. And once you get used to it and you get to about an 80% rate of getting that gold, you're all set. You'll do a lot better with this hero. Oh, an important note in case you don't know, you cannot use this hero power on turn 1. There's nothing wrong when you're clicking on it and it's just kind of not doing anything. It doesn't function on turn 1. Even if you're fighting someone like Curator, when you know they have a minion, it's just not going to give you anything because, well, there was no combat before, and that's where the minion they decided to come from. Now, when I'm tiering with Holmes, I'm always going to 3-on-3, and for that reason for that is very simple. You don't need to find a token. You have a turn 2 and then turn 3 itself chance where you can get that coin from your hero power, which means more often than not, you're going to have the extra coin to 3-on-3 to get you to that faster, better minion pool that you now have access to because you did this. There are going to be games where you whiff and weird things happen. The game tricks you. You just make a bad choice. But most of the time, you're going to be able to get there, and then you're going to be much better off position-wise to get good minions. Now, when it comes to the quest and rewards with Holmes, the reward is more, what you're building specific, what you think you can actually accomplish in those quests. So we're not going to look into that too much because the hero power doesn't really do anything specific for the rewards themselves. But when it comes to the quests you can take, Dust for Prince, which is add cards to your hand. You're adding those coins to your hand, so it's a little easier to complete. It's a good one with that. Also, Follow the Money. Once again, you're adding coins to your hand, so Follow the Money wants you to spend coins, and guess what? You have more gold because you get that from your hero power. So once again, nothing too much in this regard, but those 2 are probably the easiest to complete, or at least slightly easier because of the nature of your hero power. So when it comes to the minions in the strats I use when I'm playing Holmes, there's nothing too synergistic in this hero, so basically you can play anything you want, just like a normal game of BGs, with the exception of there are a couple minions this hero power does help a little bit, and that's Tavern Tipper. If you're going to be occasionally looking for that gold to spend, so you can Tavern Tip, and maybe you don't have the gold to spare, but all of a sudden you get your hero power gold, pop that, and now your Tavern Tippers are getting buffed. So it works pretty well there. Peggy, if you've got a Nightmare Amalgam with the Peggy or any other pirates, it's just a little tiny buff. It's nothing exciting, but the hero power doesn't really interact too much with anything. Also, since coins count as spells, Eventide Brute, Tide Mistress Athissa, that's really it, the hero power benefits. So really, you shouldn't be playing for any of these to win your games, but if they're offered to you, these are a definite path where you can get a little more power out of them because of your hero power. When it comes to countering Holmes, you don't have to do anything fancy. It's a normal game of Battlegrounds. Realistically, they're only going to have a few extra gold, a couple extra buffs to minions, so it's pay attention to the usual things. Which family of minions are they playing? Counter them as normal. Which quest are they working on and have they completed it? And then, adapt as best you can depending on what those things are. You don't have to do anything special with Holmes. It's just a little extra money mainly. Overall, I enjoy playing Holmes, but that being said, once the quest meta is over, depending what the next, season is a few months from now, Holmes's power is not overwhelming. It gives him just a little bit of economy. Once you've kind of mastered the hero power, you should be looking at like an 80% success rate on it. So it is good. It does give you a little more gold, but since the average game is what, 12 to 16 turns, you're looking at best 10 gold, maybe 14, depending how lucky you are. So not really super impactful, but over the length of the game, that extra gold, if you're not wasting your gold on rolls, really will pay off in better minions, better tiering. So there is a very good inherent value there. And while his hero power isn't impactful and doesn't really affect the board, since the quest is there to help carry him, he's going to do a lot better compared to other heroes who won't have the economy. They just get a little extra power, but once the power from their hero power kind of falls off, that extra economy will shine a little more from Holmes, depending how you manage to spend it, of course, and if you can actually find anything worth spending it on. But that being said, Holmes is a good hero. He's just not super impactful. But definitely, if nothing you're excited to play has been offered to you and Holmes is there, it's a pretty safe choice. You're going to get a little more economy, and your overall experience should be pretty good, all things considered. Stay tuned. I have more guides on the way. I hope you learned a few things today and had a good time. I know I did. Thanks for watching. Bye.